Hello, friends. Welcome back. This is episode 87, and a full disclaimer at least a portion of this episode is going to be going around and gathering those skill trainers that we've been finding. So, if you are not interested in that, then feel free to fast forward a bit, but otherwise, we're going to get to it. And the first step is to use a Fate Weaver to undo our skills. And unfortunately, they're also going to undo everything else we have, so I'll have to kind of just remember what our skills are. In fact, let me go ahead now. And its abilities, right? Yeah, I'm just going to take a quick picture of this because then I can easily respec right away. Um, we're still going to stick with the hybrid build for a little bit more. Not hybrid, but the sorcery slash might build. Um, Blade, sword, whatever it is currently. And we'll get the champion destiny one more level, and then we'll stay there for a while. But first steps first. Okay, I think this is probably the nearest Fate Weaver.
When you have filled the amphora and your sojourn is finished, return to the temple.
I will. But for now, and I think it's based on levels, so that's probably why it costs 18,000. Still not too egregious, though. Oh, it does seem to get higher each time, too. That's interesting. I kind of like that. So you can't just respec forever, or you would eventually run out of gold. So that's good to know.
When you are done, return to me.
And now, of course, we have no armor. We do still have our Fey Blades and Chakrams. I equipped these Chakrams because they're better. The other ones increase fire damage, but like we don't have any spells right now, so we live in Vaxley, so we're kind of on our own. Hopefully there won't be too much combat. We have 5 armor, 117 health. Yikes. And then let me check our skills. So we already have 3 skills. That's interesting. I'm not quite sure. Do we read a dispelling book? I don't think we've... Oh, yeah, we got that dispelling book in the ballads. Did we get the dispelling book? I'm confused because... So I made a little list here of where the different books are, although perhaps... Let me just look this up as I go. I was thinking that the only 0 to 3 trainer for dispelling was in Odessa, which we haven't been to yet. But I probably just wrote down the only one that we haven't been to in an area we haven't been to yet. So, okay, yes. So Dalentarth has a skill, a level 0 to 3 skill trainer. So I don't know if that means you can only train them if you are 0 to 3 or if it would put you at 0 to 3. Presumably at 0 to 3, right? Let's see. Has a range level in which a character skill level has to fall. So I imagine I could still train them one more level in Dispelling if I find the Odessa trainer next. But I'll have to find the Odessa trainer before I can find the... before I use the Rathir trainer that we just met in the Scalia Arcana. So I think for Dispelling, we're going to put that on hold for a little bit. There also don't seem to be any Detect Hidden or Blacksmithing trainers that I can access that we haven't already done. So... Right, because we already have 2 Blacksmithing, and we have 2 Detect Hidden. Yep, that's as expected. Alchemy. Alchemy, I think there is a trainer we have to face. And it looks like... It looks like most of the Rathir trainers are in the 4 to 6 range. However, there is a Persuasion trainer, which is in House Wyvern Geef, whatever it's called. So not far from here. Also, what was the... Oh, that was turning in our relics. Okay, right. So let's head to the house. Also, it's nighttime. So this might be a good time where it's almost nighttime, it looks like. Or it's just stormy. Once we do this, we might also take a quick detour and lockpick Brother Till's book.
Don't mind me.
And good, the trainer is still here, even though her protege has gone off to war, or is preparing to.
Well, hello. It is true. My student tests my powers almost every lesson.
So I'm just going to double check. Well, it should work, because if I... Yeah, current skill is level 1, so... 0 to 3 with level 0 and higher. All right, let's do it. So that takes care of persuasion. And then we can go to the moon camp for stealth. That's 0 to 3.
Don't mind me.
I won't. Don't mind me either. And so it still shows the trainer, but that's because we haven't. Oops. That's because it doesn't, I guess, matter whether or not you've talked to them. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that area hanging over there is the Scalia Arcana. It definitely looks like it. And the tower is probably the Orbicant and the High Society. All right, cool. So while we're here, let's find this trainer who appears to be right over here.
What's needed?
Is it this guy?
A thief may turn a lock, a brigand steal a key, but a bard can steal your heart for but a little fee.
That rhymes. You think he would be persuasion, but I don't think he is. Yeah, he's stealth, so we will train in the stealth
Fly
skill.
high.
Alright, so what else do we need to do now? I'm going to kind of just backtrack a little bit here. So alchemy, I think there is one alchemy trainer we have not been to yet. Right, because we currently have 2 alchemy points. One comes from our species, one comes from the one in Dalantarth, which means we have not been to the one in a mare. And there's also another quest we have to do in a mare, so I might go ahead and do that as well. Where is a mare? There it is. Long loading time. Oh yeah, there's the quest right there, okay. I might wait to do that though, just in case anybody was like, I don't want to look at training quests, I'll fast forward. Even though it's probably not, you know, too much to see. Oh, the trainer must be inside this place. And it is now nighttime, so once we do this, let's try to go do Brother Till's book before I forget. I think the trainer is downstairs. Or, I guess upstairs. Since there is no downstairs, it
Hello
must
there.
be you.
It's about time. Someone new. I was beginning to think I'd turned to dust here at this counter alone, uninteresting and not having spoken to another soul in days. Han likes to keep me up here because down there I fill his ears with talk. Like that's a bad thing. This village is a graveyard sometimes. Talk would do it some good. Molly Janik at your service. I teach alchemy. What can be taught, that is. Most of it is a gift. Either you have it or you don't.
She does talk a lot. Hopefully I have the gift. And yeah, I can kind of see your point. I'm not much of like a gossiper or talker myself, but in a slow town like this, there might not be that much else to do. So she will train as long as we have a skill up to 3,
Don't
which
be
we
a
do.
stranger.
And then now that we have, I wonder, it says 4 to 6. I was thinking that meant like 3 or more for some reason, but I don't think it does. So I might need to put a point into that to unlock the skill trainer in Rathir. Because now I'm thinking 0 to 3 probably just means what it says, 0 to 3. And we are still at 0 to 3. So dispelling we're going to wait on. Blacksmithing, I think we already have. There were 2 in Dalantarth. We already have 2, so we already got both of them. The next one will be in the next area in Detir. Same with Detect Hidden. We already have the 2 trainers from that are 0 to 3, so the next one is in Detir. Dispelling, we're going to wait until we get to Detir to get the last 0 to 3 trainer before we get beyond that. So I'll have to respec again probably for that, but we'll see. Maybe I'll try to keep Dispelling at max 6. There is also a book though, so maybe I'll say max 5. So that if we use the book, that'll be 6, and then we can use that trainer to get us to 7, which would be pretty high actually. And then lockpicking, Tyrion's Rest, there is a lockpicker there. So we have the one from Dalantarth, and there's also one of the Plains of Erathell at Tyrion's Rest. Which I think was here? No. Oh, Tyrion's Rest is the yeah, the town. I was thinking it was like that hotel in the woods, or the inn in the woods where the two brothers were. Because Rest sounds like a good name for an inn, but it's actually the town.
Duty of guide and
And,
protect.
and it's daytime again. Okay, well, that was quick. I wonder if quick traveling changes the time of day. That would kind of make sense. And oh no, did we? We might have actually lost this trainer, because he was the one that we had to go to during this quest. But I guess he kind of escapes after he does the quest with you. Wait. Or maybe he's just in the lab. Okay, hopefully he's just in the lab. Yes, okay, good. I was worried that by not doing it right away during the quest, we had lost our chance.
I have a bit of cleaning up to do down here. However, I would be happy to give a brief lesson in the art of locks.
And I'd be happy to pay for one. Again, a little bit expensive, but worth it. All right, so that takes care of lockpicking. Mercantile, we also have to go to Detir for the other trainer. We did the one in Dalenturth, which is 0 to 3. So that's how we got that point. We can afford to get... Yeah, I guess I could add some points in here to get to the level where we need to use the upgrade, which would get me to two permanent bonus points. And then... Yeah, I don't know if that made sense, but basically if I could put a few points of my like flexible points I can always respec with to get to level 4. Train with the 4 to 6 mercantile trainer who's in Erathell. And then I can always respec down again when I need to get the other mercantile trainer when we get to Detir. So maybe we'll do that. Before we do that, there is a Sagecraft and Alchemy trainer in Rathir. Although even before we do that, I want to look at the skill books too. So I'm pretty sure we have... What skill books have we used? Have we used lockpicking? Oh. I guess we have now. Okay. So I will cross that off. So lockpicking is 3. Hopefully I didn't just like mess up my strategy there. No, we didn't. Okay, because the next lockpicker is in Detir, and they have require 4 to 6, so that's fine. I think we used sage crafting already. Let me just check again. So we have 1 from... Yeah, I think we have to, because we already have 4. Which will be 1 from our race, 2 from the 0 to 3 trainers we've already found, both in Dalentarth, and then 1 from the book. So we've used sage crafting. So that leaves dispelling and alchemy. Now alchemy... Well, let's see if we have the book, because if we do, we'll just actually have the book. And I was like, oh, I can level up, but that's because I used the Fate Weaver. Skill book, skill book. I don't have any others on me, but I might have put them in the chest. So right now I do have access to the skill book of alchemy and dispelling. I just don't know if I've actually found them yet. I don't think I have. So one is in the Ballad's library. I think it said we need the Ballad's signet ring to get into. I don't know if we have to go back and get that. That's the oratory. Oh, Ballad's library was here. And was that... No, that's not alchemy. That's... dispelling. Okay. And the wiki says upstairs, not fake
It's good to
cache.
see you.
Good to see you again. She's a Fate Weaver, but she doesn't have the symbol. I wonder if she can't Fate Weave anymore. Alright, I won't steal anything else, but this is too valuable not to steal, so I will. Plus, I'm a member of the House. I'm actually the leader, I think, of the House of Ballads, so it's kind of my book. And then, okay, that was dispelling. So I'm just thinking here. So how many do I have right now? So I can't use the dispelling book yet, because I'm thinking one of the spelling trainers is still unavailable, right? I think one of them, I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, there's a 0 to 3. There's a 0 to 3 dispelling trainer into tier. So I think I had it backwards for a second there. So we'll have to wait to use the dispelling book. 'Cause basically, if I use the dispelling book now, I can never get the point from that trainer, because I'll always be below 4. I'll have 4 permanent dispelling points. So yeah, because I have 2 from my race, 1 from one of the low trainers, and then 1 from this book. So we'll wait on this one. And then the alchemy book, it said it was in the Cradle of Summer. And it does say we need 5 detect hidden for that. So I think we might just have to put some temporary detect hidden points in here for now. So what I'm wondering is, can I skip this part? Can I do this but skip the abilities part? Guess it's all or nothing. Interesting. Okay. So in that case, let's go to the Scully Arcana next. Nope, not the Wolt. I suppose I'll have to go all the way back into the city again. Oh, we do have to do that thing on the Erathell Bridge, right? Okay, let's wait. I was really tempted to do it because we're right here, but I probably shouldn't do any quests while we're doing the other stuff, just so we're not skipping anything.
Students of magic, masters of spells.
I wouldn't feel too bad doing like the Brother Tales books, because that's like really just lockpicking a book. So nobody who fast forwarded would miss anything, but if it's a real quest, especially the one that was actually part of a faction quest, that's a little bit more of a big deal.
Good day to you.
Okay, so we did that one. So we need to go to the trainers in the Scully Arcana now, which is over this way.
Stand aside.
You stand aside. Yeah, the taller tower is the one we came from, so this is the place hanging over the edge. I'm sure it's structurally sound and probably supported by magic as well, but I'd still be wary staying here too long. So that's the book. All the trainers, I think, are through here. As we can tell by the little cluster of swords.
Greetings.
Greetings to you too. I'm gonna start saying that to people when I walk by them instead of like, hey, or how's it going? Just greetings. Okay, so we have 3 trainers, and we need to wait on the dispelling one because we need to go to Odessa first. So that leaves alchemy and sagecraft. So I'm not sure who is who. That's probably alchemy back there.
I have many things I wish to attend to, but I can always make time if there's a matter you wish to discuss.
There is training. Oh, you'd have 4. Oh, okay. So, all right. And then I also need 4 alchemy too. Just triple checking myself because I really don't lock myself out of any trainers. Yeah, okay. So I'll need to put points into here when I spec into them. So, are there any other trainers I need to access? Oh, Mercantile. Mercantile. No, we have to go to the tier for that one first as well. Okay, so we'll have to do this again once we go through all the tier and unlock those trainers. But now we've completed the second area. I think we've gotten everything we can. So what I need to do then... Interesting. I think I might have to use a Fate Weaver again, unfortunately. Because I want to get the Sagecrafter talent, but I also want to get the ability to make the best gems. And she has 4 to 6, which so even after getting her training, I could at best get... Oh, she's not Sagecrafting, so I can do Sagecrafting now, though. Okay, let's do that. She's Alchemy.
Here.
And Alchemy... That's cool. All alchemical recipes are discovered. But really, to make the best potions, I just need to have a 5. So that should be okay. So Sagecrafting is probably over this way. I think the Dispelling guy is the other direction, which is what I remember as well.
It seems I lost the answer key I made for the symposium's next assignment.
All right,
Oh well.
+1 to Sagecraft, yes. And I guess because it's a 4 to 6 trainer, it costs a lot more gold.
Attend to your studies.
That's why I'm here. Yay, permanent yield, or permanent bonus to Sagecraft. Okay, so yeah, now I can get the best Sagecrafting one. So I need to put at least one more point into Alchemy, but not more than, not higher than 6, I guess. And then you can use the book anytime. So I guess I might as well, let me see something here. Yeah, there's only one 4 to 6 trainer, and we already are at her, so we can use the book as well once we find it. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and allocate my skill points, because all that's left is using this trainer and then the book. So for now, I'm going to kind of go towards max crafting. And I might not even, I was going to respec right away after, I was going to do all the crafting and then respec back to my normal like adventuring skill set afterwards. But one, that feels a little bit like cheating going back and forth. And 2, that's going to cost me a lot of gold because the price is getting higher and higher for Fate Weaving. And I want to kind of make sure I don't price myself out of being able to Fate Weave later on if I need to. So, and again, I really like that system because it kind of gives you a disincentive to just abuse it. So I do want Alchemy. Oh, let's go to the level up screen. So I do want Alchemy, but no more than 6, so that we can still use the trainer. And then we'll use the book and get to 8. And then I want to max out blacksmithing, I think, because we do want mastercrafted equipment, presumably. And see, by kind of maximizing my permanent points, which is why I'm taking the time to kind of be extra cautious about this, so that we don't lock ourselves out of one of the low-level skill trainers, we can use our flexible skill points a little bit more freely. We do need 5 detect hidden in order to see the place where the skill book is. And then sage crafting, that one I just talked about, didn't I? I said sage crafting. No, we already did that one. So, right, that was the trainer we just had. I crossed it off, so I'm trusting myself here. Just seeing what the other skills are. So the 3 crafting skills are alchemy, blacksmithing, and sagecraft. So I want to maximize sagecraft at least to here for the epic gems. You can remove gems. I don't know if I really need that, to be honest with you. It's a shame you can't like allocate part of them and then come back and do the rest later. So we have 7 points. I do want some persuasion as well. I guess the question is, okay, I want at least 1 dispelling. And we'll have to respec once we've cleared Edessa and gotten access to all the trainers there. Or not, I think Edessa is the city. I think Tatir is the area. And I could have waited until we'd done that to to do this as well, but I feel like I've waited long enough to do crafting, and I really want to do crafting at this point. You always succeed when forcing very easy locks, and not sure about that one as much. So I think for my last points, I'd like to put them in... I can't put any more alchemy yet. I don't really want any more stealth. See, part of me really wants to max out sagecraft. I'm about to be sagecrafting, but if all it does is removing the ability to remove gems, which I really don't want to do yet, I can always do that later. Or get better quality shards. I mean, that helps, but I'm not sure I'd rather have that than, say, like lockpicking or persuasion. Or even detect hidden. Or even mercantile. Now that we do have a little bit more of a use for gold. But I do like persuasion a lot because it opens up some cool story options. Yeah, as tempted as I am, I'm not going to get these because I don't think I really need them at all. So even though we're in our crafting phase, I don't see a reason to max out sage crafting. So that leaves me with 3 more points, and then obviously we'll get more as we go on. Let's do 1 more persuasion, some mercantile, and how many mercantile trainers do I not have access to yet? So there is 1 in Detir, so we could not have more than 3 then. So there is 1 in the moon camp too. Was that not the one that we did? I guess. No, we did not because I'm waiting for the one in Detir first. Although I guess I could get them and then respec. But we only have 1 point. Let's just put it in here for now. All right, cool. And then when we level up, we can always add more points. And look at my pictures again. We are going to respec the same way. So we did 2 points here and 6 points here. And maxed out our chakrams. And maxed out our Mark of Flame. And did 3 here. 2, 5, 6, 1, 2, and I think that's it for sorcery. And then for might, we did 3. I'm very glad I took a picture here. 7 for longsword. Well, 6 plus there's... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we have a piece of equipment that increases everything by 1. So I should take that into account. So we really did 6, 2, 1, 6, 1, 5, 5. I'm subtracting 1 from each of these, so. And then we did 1 here, and 1 there, and that's all of our points. All right, cool. What does this one do? Reduces enemies' damage output and can knock them down. And armor as well. That's cool. Again, it's nice to give the warrior some plus damage abilities. And for now, we are still going to be at the where is it? Crusader tier, but 1 more level and we'll be able to get the, was it Paladin? Paragon. All right, confirmed. And we can put our gear back on too, but I'll do that off screen. So, okay. Now that all that's done, I guess next episode we'll go ahead and go to the... well, actually, you know what? We can do the alchemy trainer now, can't we? So let's go back to her and do that real quick. Now that we've sort of, I don't want to say artificially increased our alchemy skill, but we've done it using our non-permanent bonuses. Our respecable points.
Alchemy is about creating something worth more than the sum of its parts.
All right, teach me more.
You can find me here.
And yeah, she also costs 30k gold because it's a higher level training. So, all right, now we just have to get the alchemy skill book, which we'll do from the Court of Summer, and we'll do some. I don't know if we'll do some more quests next episode, or maybe we'll just go ahead and do the crafting now that we can craft. I'm leaning towards crafting, but you guys will have to just stay tuned to find out. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.